Welcome everyone to another highest end performance, the best money could buy in the year 2000. A slightly overclocked and hardware L2 cache modified AMD K6-II hardware modified to unlock the second half of the cache, effectively making it as seen here by the model ID K6-III, although why is the plus missing? Anyway, all 256K of second level cache, slightly overclocked. I think it might be rated for 570 MHz, slightly overclocked to 600 because feeling lucky. Another of those videos, some people say, but it's unmaintainable, we need to drop it. Yet T2 Linux remains soon the last distribution to still support that. The point of this video, I sourced a other fine piece of vintage gear. Finally have, I sorted it away already. PowerVR PCX2 video coming soon next year if you want to see low-level open source code finally rendering 3D on vintage PowerVR. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, Patreon, YouTube membership for more low-level fun code like we have done for the S-Reverge and 3D-FX Voodoo. And so I basically mostly only took the system out here, socket 7, super socket 7, to test this card yesterday. ISO 9000 is so 100% input control here, of not sourcing defect vintage parts. And as I have the system out, what is better than installing the latest edition of T2 freaking 23.12 486 Linux running on 686, and yet some people say it's unmaintainable stuff. So quickly wanted to make a video, and if you were wondering, is this pointless waste of time? No, it isn't. Not only are these vintage systems fun, I mean, not only billions of CPUs sold from AMD, Intel, and VIA, and a couple of other next-gen and Cyrix, IBM, DMP, SIS, and whatnot, National something. Even as a Vortex x86, probably maybe still available new today for your x86 robotic needs. But I even found a bug, right? So not only I had to test my, for future YouTube video production here, I had to test anyway, but I even found a bug. So not only, of course, latest edition T2 Linux just installs on this hardware with BetterFS, with Grub2, and so on. I even built some stuff, so I locally built Lua, that built in 6 minutes. It's like, yeah, you don't want it, but hey, can you develop VI with freaking syntax highlighting? This is even running over Secure Shell for the YouTube live streaming, right? This is running freaking Tmux and VI and can build software. Actually, I thought, anyway, so the bug I found, so in general, given that we do that for 25 years, over 4 years live on YouTube, in general, T2 freaking amazing, superior performance and bug fix. Edition, of course, in general, works on this hardware, no surprise. The only surprise is I thought I had specifically wired up support for SATRAM, compressed swap by default, and somehow that is the only bug I uncovered. By the way, did I even start Xserver? I didn't start. I mean, I have a garbage SUC ATI3D. I have more amazing cards, but as a rule of thumb, I'm not plugging my most expensive 3D Labs, Wildcat, Matrox, Parhelia 790 or other vintage goodness in there. I literally go to my archiving PCI card and take the least, like the card I got for free from recycling scrap. I mean, that is obviously the card I plug in here for random testing. So yeah, I could start X. Should I do that live or not? Let's start it. Although, this is also not amazing. So much too, we found another bug. Mach 64, why is this failing? I believe it did work in so much. I probably, for illustration purposes, should not have done that. What is failing here? Using acceleration architecture, segmentation for address. Dereferencing null pointer. C development difficult and stuff. Okay, let's ignore that. Let's debug that another day. Let's do, I think in QEMU it did work with whatever. Anyway, upstream, bugs and regressions. But the point is also, like, this could, like, you can, like, dropping x86, I mean, I don't care, drop it in other 2043 Linux distributions as long as it in general works, one ATI bug. Probably that is hopefully just an ATI bug, right? But you can still, I mean, the driver is there, you can still plug in the same card on, even in today's high-end system, if you wanted to with a PCI bridge, right? Maybe they're even still industrial boards. Most likely there are still industrial boards of latest Intel whatnot stuff that you could even plug it in natively. So like dropping x86 does not stop you from exposing null pointer dereferences in your good old vintage. Also, like upstream changes, like the only constant is change, and regressions, like these drivers were fine for decades, and random change, like let's change, refactor all freaking stuff, and because nobody's testing it, it's like everything broken. But anyway, let's see that here. So that is this files. So that is natively now, right? Oh, actually, did I not? Why? Did I not? Actually, I changed. Here it is. Because I changed the hostname to i686, but probably I had started the tmux earlier. Of course, I did. So, so that is native development, right? Can you natively develop code on a 600 megahertz AMD K6? Yes, you can. So this file, so that is etc. I thought I had etcf is tab. Here is dev set ram. Why is this not? So I thought, so that is in there. I probably should, like, why is this? So the bug is that that is not in there. And let's hope I don't. Collaborate this here with some editing. So there, yeah, this is purely. Sound swap. I probably should reboot. So I didn't hook up a analog capture, which theoretically we have, but share, like, and subscribe. But I still need to reverse engineer this FPGA-based analog capture thing. Can't even use it on latest Linux anymore with this decade-old binary only garbage driver. Yeah, let's reboot for one. The problem is I can't even debug that here nicely, can I? Well, you will not see, actually should be, you know what, let's try, should this fully, let's try something crazy, which is KXHack. Do you see that even? Barley, huh? This you see. KXHack, I've never done that on really 32-bit hardware. Let's always try some new thing. Reuse, what was the syntax of that? Because the syntax was somehow strange. Reuse comma, because one is comma, yeah, this is command line, and that is CMD, like, yeah, I mentioned this on another video. CMD, no? And so this system is new enough, it should do that. So unfortunately you don't see that. That is really sad. Probably share, like, and subscribe for more video capture angles. So going to reboot the system. Oh, wow, wow, wow. That freaking works. It's coming, I mean, it's VGA text mode, like, wow. So we skipped the BIOS post, right? You don't see that, but believe me, that is more than expected. But it didn't, we were not in, were we in frame buffer? Oh no, we actually were in frame buffer mode, I believe. I am really surprised that this worked. So yeah, setting up swap space, 99 megabytes. So that is of course a freaking high-end configuration, right? That obviously AMD never sold like that, with freaking half a gigabyte of freaking memory. So yeah, that fully worked, and now we have, I mean, wow. it's like 25 years of dedication and perfection gave you K6 on that. Came back, and now we have, so of course that didn't fix the bug, right? We're on, so yeah, now we have priority 199 max off. High performance compressed. I'm surprised. I mean, the one bug is unfortunate. So the thing is, I can't conveniently debug that like that. That would be best debugged in QEMU actually. I just wanted to basically troll other Linux distributions of like, hey, it's still there, you can use it and it's fun. But I mean, it's absolutely crazy, right? I have a latest state-of-the-art fractal with 14 centimeter fan just for the test. It's a latest Silverstone SFX so power supply thing. It's like, it's not all old shit. So that should be in stone. And I mean, it's also absolutely crazy data points that K6, you can't maintain all this x86 quirks, and it's like, yeah, the x86 quirks and stuff is also still in x86-64, right? It's literally in the freaking name of x86-64. Like, even K6 freaking works. That is more than you get on most other crazy systems. So that's unsurprising. Like, that's also why I just stressed, I got of like, you need to reboot, let's test K6. Also, of course, the test that this 5init stuff is properly set up. How do we generate the Fstab? So we grab. So try to. Oh no, this is not that. Where is Fstab? Where is that even? It's probably in. Is this in? Which did I just? It's probably in setup. Make Fstab. Copy results and fallback. Currently mounted systems, that is SED. So I would have thought that this should be part of etc. We need this files etc Fstab. It's part of that. And then what do we? Sort resulting entries and grab the latest easy only. Probably we drop it here somewhere. Currently mounted. I mean, okay, so we copied those defaults. Okay, let's copy all of that. It's probably, so how do you debug that? I mean, either in QEMU, but maybe in system is even slightly more convenient. So save this to X. Currently mounted systems. I mean, this is, should we add this? Currently active swap should be none. Temp2. This is a pending, also like checking that. So unfortunately that is a little bit inconvenient to test here because it is using get dm slave and get UUID. Maybe I mean, we could comment it out. It probably should work. And now, unfortunately, we have X here. So let's change this to X. Let's change this to X. Do we have more temp? Let's see. Is this referencing? Let's see what happens. Def root dev temp s, but here dev setrem 0 is still in there. Why did it? I mean, we could. That is puzzling. I mean, it was for sure not in there. Then some of the other, what other, is it possible that get dm slave def is maybe one of those. Maybe clearing one of those, so get the m slave would return nothing, right? Get this is device mapper def node, stat echo return. So that would clear that. Let's see what happens then. Maybe that def temp def that. This is yeah, there's a bug. So where do we def, what do we output then? That is of course a little bit inconvenient. Should have, I mean, I tested the heck out of that, right? You test more, and then, yeah, but what you don't test is broken. So I implemented that without fully testing this, right? Even for senior coders and wannabe YouTubers like myself, what you don't test is broken. That is, the question is, does this, okay, maybe, the question is, what other bugs do we introduce? So basically this should, probably this functions. Okay, let's not save that. This function then should return the original device, I would say. Hey, native syntax highlighting performance, right? In case you're, it's probably faster than a freaking sgoctane. Did I add desktop sgoctane? Okay, I only have here bash for reasons. You would wonder. I think this is also for 250 megahertz. I need to be more careful in the future. That is for my fast octane. The question is, what do we break? Here we echo the original def in the getUUID function. Here is small oversight with unfortunately larger consequences. Yep, it is what it is. Fixed. Oh, wow, this, you know what this is? So here, so VI in the default configuration behaves not convenient. That is bloody. So term. Is it even colored differently? Was it that colored? Differently colored. What? Okay. Rule of thumb: don't use this electricity term. Thank you very much. Also, environment variable. Was it not slightly? Oh wait, did I? Wait, no, I'm confused. Maybe I didn't test it sufficiently. No, the color is different. That was yellow before, I believe. Why is the freaking color different for freaking different? This is ridiculous. Oh, whatever. Fixed. And now copy and paste also works. Fixed stone mod setup to not clear depth and coloring. Not a fan of this coloring, but whatever. Something that sounds right. Did I not? I don't have a. What time do we have? Why did the time reset from? I mean, I don't have an RTC battery in here for obviously long-term storage reasons, but I just had set that though. Yeah, no, it doesn't do that because the date is right. Just want to check some other. Some other internal stuff, because here's my internal collect PI work in progress stuff. 105, not the coolest name. So yeah, as I said, Lure 6. Actually, this build time is pretty spot on. I had this on our Discord. Surprised that's spot on. So it would, so my performance index for the website collecting script would build that, and so I just posted here, so 6 minutes 29. So that is reverse estimated, surprisingly accurate. We don't really need to build that though, because it will take 6 minutes. Let's see how long a forced bash rebuild would be. But so the compile, of course, back in the day, the compile times, I said this before, would be, let's do both, bin utils and bash. Okay, bash might be half an hour and bin utils might be a whopping 3 hours. But which would make it here on paper slower than an Octane, like dual processor Octane. However, I mean, which could be accurate, however, that was using a much older GCC, right? Like, yeah, so probably the bloat is rewrite. If you're wondering, was stuff really that slow back in the day? No, we have 2 decades of crazy bloat. Not only the compiler was much more simpler, less optimizing and stuff. So GCC easily 2 orders of magnitude faster back in the day, right? GCC 295.3 or so, probably not even GCC 3 whenever that came out. And so like, yeah, 10, 20, whatever times GCC faster, plus all the packages, except of course Lua, which is still minimal, but think bash, bin utils, GCC, and everything like X11, although X11 not the most, but even there with X-Render and stuff and Pixman and so on, right? But certainly GNOME and KDE, like, good luck comparing GTK1 with GTK3 or 4 or 5 or stuff. GNOME 1 with GNOME 40, it's like, yeah. There's where all your performance is going, right? So back in the day, this was, of course, state of the art. And back in the day, it probably built bash in I don't know, maybe a minute or 2 or 3 or whatever. I personally built T2 on an IDT WinChip 240, right? Back in the day, that was the highest end I could afford, like basically cheapest clone crap. But still 240 megahertz. I built in 1998-ish the desktop Rock Linux I built on a 240 megahertz IDT WinChip with less memory than that, right? Probably, I don't know, 256 or whatever was, maybe even 128 or so. Because my first Pentium had 16 megabyte only, so I don't think the IDT WinChip would have had that much more than 100 or so megabyte. So yeah, the bloat is real. You can still use it. Of course, it's more fun with vintage and retro gaming. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe for some good NVIDIA NV1, NEC, VideoLogic PCX2, on top of our previous S3 Verge and 3DFX Voodoo, maybe even some gaming and other fun stuff to come. That's it for this video. I've tested what I wanted to test. I fixed some extra bug there. It was probably all right. I could theoretically let this run here just for the performance figures. Maybe I leave it. Do I? Maybe not. I mean, I have one figure. I mean, the other 30 minutes. Like, yeah. Of course, that is currently optimizing with the configuration, relatively well optimizing, right? Smartest or whatever. So if you change the, like, if you really want to use it like that, which of course you could, if you really wanted to, you can also optimize less, right? If you change our T2 optimization, disable LTO and change smartest to lazy, which is 01, then you obviously already get quite some speed up. And so yeah, start XDM there, fix stone setup. Yeah, I should test this obviously more. So that is stone. Should I rebuild all the ISOs again for that? Leave in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something, and have a good day or night. And if we don't hear us again before Christmas, seasonal greetings, Happy New Year, and if you want to have something to play under your Christmas tree, then you know where to get the bestest. Some say best, some say worst Linux distribution for your vintage and retro or high-end tinkering to come.